underway. You can kill my mind for flow when I went slow. Hold me till I scream for air to breathe, and wash me over until my will runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby, baby,
to make this video like 7 times already. This is my last time. But okay, I've been wanting to come on here and tell my experience with being roommates with Legera Payton for a while now. And at the time that she was going viral on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything, and everybody was seeing what was happening with her, I didn't want to speak on it because I kind of felt like that was bogus. And as much as I wanted to do it, I just felt like I never want to be the reason why somebody, you know, do something bad to themselves because of my words, anything like that. But now that we don't know what's going on with Legera Payton and she's not on the internet anymore, I feel like it's an okay time to speak on my experience with being her roommate in college. So if you don't know who Legera Payton is, just search her name in your search bar. You'll see a bunch of viral videos of her just going to different restaurants, harassing people in Target, Chipotle, even at her church. She was like kicked out of the Kingdom Hall. She was a Jehovah's Witness. She was kicked out of the Kingdom Hall. If you look on YouTube, I don't know if the YouTube videos are still up, but that was like her primary place to post videos. And all of these videos that's on TikTok are from people taking her videos that she was posting on YouTube and putting them on TikTok. She'd actually never had a TikTok. This video is not to bash Legera in no way, shape, or form. Wherever she is, I hope that she's doing good. This is just me speaking on my experience because, I mean, I can do that. It's my page. But it, like I said, it's not intended to hurt her in no way. I'm about to tell y'all the story from the beginning to the end of me and this girl being roommates. So grab y'all popcorn, y'all pop, y'all chips, whatever, because it's gonna get real good. So I needed a roommate. I was transferring schools. I was going to an Indiana school at first, and then I was transferring to NIU, which is Northern Illinois University. So on Facebook, they had this group. It was like NIU Roommate Finder, and that's how I found Legera. So me and Legera had mutuals, and one of our mutuals was my male best friend from high school. So when she commented under my stuff, or no, she didn't comment, she messaged me. She sent like a inbox on Facebook, and she asked me that I still need a roommate, and I'm like, yeah. So I had contacted my best friend and asked him like, hey, how do you know her or whatever? And he said that they work with each other at the mall. I told him like she's trying to be my roommate, and he was like, oh yeah, y'all be good roommates, she's real cool, outgoing, yada yada yada. So I'm like, okay, bet. So me and Legera go down to DeKalb where the school is, and we went looking for apartments or whatever, and we went to Eco Park. If you're familiar with DeKalb, you know what Eco Park is. Some people call it Echo Park, but I call it Eco Park. Eco Park. So we going to do a little apartment tour there, and we toured the house or whatever. And mind you, I found this apartment. I had Eco Park listed as a place that I wanted to live before I even met Legera. But anyway, so we go into the apartment, do our little tour, and then as we coming out, she see a guy that lived across the hall, and she spoke to him. She was like, oh hey, and then she was like, I didn't know you lived here. And he was like, yeah, I stay here, me and yada yada yada. I'm not gonna say no names. Okay, cool. So the guy that she said hey to, we're gonna nickname him Country Boy, because that's what she called him. Like on her YouTube, whenever she's talking about a guy, she say she missed Country Boy, this is the guy that lived across the hall from us. Okay, so Legera already been going to NIU. So this is not her first year there. She already know people at this school. She's been going to this school for I think that was supposed to be her junior year, right? So remember that. So when we leave out, she's like, hey, I have a queen size bed and a long dresser to match. So do you mind if I take the bigger bedroom? And me at first I'm like, well, I'm looking at her like, bitch, I'm the one who found the place anyway. But anyway, I was just happy. That was like my first own apartment. So I was just ready to move. So I'm like, yeah, whatever, you can have it, right? So that was, I want to say, maybe a month and a half before we actually moved in, before the semester started. So we move into the apartment. Everything going good. We going to parties. She's taking me to all the parties because, like I said, she been going to this school. And I only knew one person out there other than her for real, and that was my child's father, because we was like dating. This is around the time we first met each other and started dating. Okay, so we going to parties, and this girl is really outgoing. Like, I'm talking about, as soon as we walk in the party, she's speaking to everybody. She running around the whole place. Honestly, she was a little bit too outgoing for me, because like, I don't like just going to parties and just running around this motherfucker speaking to everybody. Like chill. Like, she was really like a very vibrant like person. So at the time I was only 20 years old, and she was older than me. So like, she was able to get in the bars and everything, and I couldn't yet. I wasn't able to get into the bars until November of that year. So Lajira she stayed going to the bars. She stayed popping out like she was a party girl, right? It wasn't until December of that year when I started noticing like something is different about her. She started to be one of them like know-it-alls. Like, you can't tell her nothing.
Police officers.
Anything that you do your way, like if it's not done like how she would do something, she would critique you for it. And it was given like she thought she was my mama a little bit. So we started kind of like bumping heads a little. And I should mention that December is when we also bought a dog. We bought a dog together. We went and bought it. We split half and half on a dog. And around this time, I'm not sure if it was a little bit before then or after, but she started dating this boy that used to be her best friend. She used to call him her best friend. They actually started dating, and still to this day, I think he's a really cool dude. He's a nice dude. But she was madly in love with the guy across the hall. So Lajira and the dude across the hall used to hunch. You know what I mean? They used to hunch. So she used to tell me how I'm not gonna say that part. So her boyfriend was coming over, like, he didn't live there. He lived in, I think he still lived like back at home in Chicago. So Chicago ain't far from DeKalb. It's like an hour and a half. So he used to come out there on the weekends or whatever, and they'll always just go out, whatever. Now this is at this time, Lajira was not going outside no more. She's not going to no bars. She ain't going to no parties, no none of that. And this is the girl who used to drag me out the house. So it was very surprising. So it go from her not going outside to her like telling me what I'm doing wrong in my life. Oh, you do this, you do that, and according to God, we shouldn't be doing that. According to God, this, according to God, that. Like, she was so judgmental about everything that I did. Like, and I'm just sitting here thinking, like, how are you the one to talk? Because I found out a lot of stuff that Lajira was doing on campus before I got there. Hey, if you know, you know. So it go from her throwing a Bible in my face every day and reading me scriptures to Jehovah Witnesses being in my house every other day for Bible study. Sitting on my couch. I can't even walk around this motherfucker with a bottle in my hand, a bottle of liquor, because the Jehovah Witnesses just on the couch. What, like... So this is when I started thinking, like, maybe she's going through this crisis because of the age that she's turning. and she wants to change her life around. I'm thinking it's that because she was telling her own boyfriend, like, oh, you only design shoes and you need to figure something else about your life because you're too old for that. Like, she was just becoming a bitch, right? But go to part 2 because it's gonna get good. Attempted to make this video like, look at this. Okay, y'all, part two. I'm sorry, I have a life, I have a child, and my Christmas tree is still up, so that's how you know I be busy. But okay, part 2. So at this point, I told y'all Lagira is she's acting like a bitch to everybody. The Jehovah's Witnesses are in my house every other day. She is living by the Bible. She is judging everybody that's around her for the things that they're doing, down to drinking liquor and smoking weed. Like, can I say that? But yeah, you know. So at this point, she's just really like a Debbie Downer. But whatever. If that's how you want to be, that's how you want to be. Whatever. So our lease started in August of the year before, right? So we got a year lease. At this point, I'm going to say we're in January. I still have to live with this girl for up until August for real, because that's when our lease is up. But I'm not thinking anything of it for real. It's just like, okay, if that's how you want to be, that's how you want to be. It's whatever. I don't really have to hang with you. We don't really cross paths that much unless we're in the house. And still, it's really no hard feelings towards this girl at the moment because, I mean, people make their own personal choices. So I can't be mad at you for wanting to be closer to God. I was never mad about that. It's just how she went about things that really made me mad. So here comes spring break. Spring break is in March. And this is when everything just really hit the fan with Lagira. So I went to LA for spring break this year. I went to LA with my boyfriend. Now, well, my ex-boyfriend. My baby daddy. But anyway, so I goes to LA with him. I planned to go to LA with my boyfriend at the time. Lagira was going on a vacation with her friends at the time to Miami, and then she was going with her boyfriend to Vegas, I believe. Either way, I'm not sure which trip came first, but it was all during spring break, and she was gonna do half the break with her friends, half the break with her boyfriend. So that I don't know the order in which the trips happened. I don't know if she went with him first or the friends first. So she comes, we go on our trip. We come back home and we telling each other about our vacation. And I'm telling you, she had nothing good to say about the trip that she was with the girls that she went on the trip with. So she's like, yeah, I just feel like they all out partying and celebrating, and what are we really celebrating? Like, what are we celebrating? Because nobody has accomplished anything. Like, are we celebrating being failures? Like, all you girls are failures. None of y'all are, because the girls that she went with were her actual friends, y'all. Like, friends that either went to this school with her before and they like back at home, or they just like friends from home. But these girls was like no longer on NIU campus. I never knew any of these girls that she went out of town with. So she was judging them because they were no longer in school. And she was like, basically like, they just failures. And they was just blowing me the whole time because I just feel like they don't deserve to be having fun. If that's the case, why did you go on a trip with them in the first place? Like, that don't make sense, right? So then she starts to show me pictures of her and her boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend now, but her boyfriend at the time when they were in Vegas. And when I say the girl looked so lost in every picture that she posted, like every picture, it was like she couldn't look at the camera. Now, one thing I can say about Lagira, when I first met her, when you're talking to that girl, she's making full-blown eye contact with you. It was, at the time, I wasn't really good at eye contact, especially like if I really don't know you. I don't be looking in your eyes. I'm good at it now, but back then I was not good at eye contact. So her delivery was always a little bit intimidating, but in a good way to me. It wasn't like, oh, I'm scared of this bitch. It was like, okay, like this bitch she can look at you in your eyes and say how she feel. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I like that about her. But at this point, y'all, Luxura can't even look at a camera. Like, everything was like you'll be talking to her and it's like, what's going on? Luxura also loved our dog down. Like, she was honestly taking him out more than me, giving him more attention than me. Not him, it's a girl. Giving her more attention than me. And she loved that dog. That dog was like her person. And then at this point, she not even giving the dog no attention. Like, I'll come in, the dog have been out all day. And it was we got the dog when the dog was only 6 weeks. So the dog was like this little, you can fit the dog in one hand. It was a baby. So this is where things really got weird. And I was like, okay, something is wrong with her. I sometimes will go home for the weekend. Home ain't nowhere but like an hour, 45 minutes out, right? Most of the time when I would go back, though, I would spend the weekend, like from Friday to Sunday, come back home on Sunday. So this one particular weekend, I went home and came home the same day. She wasn't expecting me to come home. So when I walked back in the house, she was so surprised. And then she was like, oh, Chrissy, I wasn't expecting you to come back today. And I just remember the house being real dark, candles being lit. It was candles lit all over the house. And she was cooking something. So it was still a little bit early. At this point, I can go to the bar now. So I can tell something was off for her. So I think I offered, like, do you want to go to the bar? Like, let's go talk about it. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling? Let's go to the bar. And this girl, she couldn't look at me in my eyes and she couldn't respond to me. And I'm like, Luxura, what's going on? And then she just burst out. Excuse me. Shh. Then the girl just burst out in tears and was just like, I am so scared to go back in public. I can't go back in public. Everybody is staring at me. Everybody looks at me. And I'm just not ready to go back out. Y'all, when I tell y'all this girl has not been outside at this point in months, her going on this trip was the first time she was like really back outside for a very long time. So after that, I'm like, are you good? Like, talk to me, whatever. She got quiet. She could not talk to me. She couldn't look me in my eyes. She sat in her bathroom. We both had our own bathroom. So it was 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. My bathroom was closer to my bedroom and hers was closer to the kitchen. So we in her bathroom and she just like sat down on the bathroom floor, didn't say a word. So I'm like, okay. Now I do want to add something. Okay, so I do want to add that at the time my boyfriend was in the military. So my ex-boyfriend. But he was in the military and he was away for something they had to do. I want to say it was like he had to be gone for about a month, I believe. So like leading up to our trip to LA for spring break, he had just came home at that time for whatever he had to do in the military. They sent him somewhere to do something, right? And he had gave me his game system to put in my room. So I was using his game system to like watch Netflix and stuff like that. Okay, so back to Luxura. So she's still cooking. I go in a room and I think I hit my dude up and was like, something not right. Like she tripping in there. And then all I know is the dude across the hall, not the one that she used to mess with, not Country Boy, but his roommate. He texted me and said, look out your peephole. Yeah, let me show you what was outside the peephole. Okay, y'all, part two.
I was just checking to see if I went viral. No.
Oh, y'all thought I was just gonna come with a story without receipts? That video that y'all see in part 2 of me showing y'all Luxura through the peephole was Luxura standing outside of Country Boy's house with food in her hand and a Bible. Okay, so let's take it back. Country Boy is the guy that lives across the hall that Luxuria is madly in love with. We don't know why, but they used to, I want to say they were friends with benefits before I met either one of them, before I even met Luxuria. They used to, they used to hunch or whatever, but they never had a relationship. The guy actually has a girlfriend. Country Boy, the reason why I know that I'm calling him Country Boy is because that's what Luxuria refers him as in these like new YouTube videos that she was posting, and she was screaming out that she want Country Boy. She's talking about him. They had a common love for country music, like specifically certain songs, and I think that's why she called him Country Boy. But yeah, she's talking about the neighbor. The guy that texted me, we gonna say his name is Randy, right? So Randy texted me, he say, look outside your peephole. Luxurious outside the house, like tripping out. Now, Randy was the provider as well. So Luxuria was buying, smoke off of him. And I think I was too. It was convenient. He was right across the hall, but I felt like she used to buy it off him mostly because she used to want to see if Country Boy was there. So back to the topic at hand. So at this point, this girl's outside of this man's house with a Bible and a plate. Knocked on his, honestly, I don't even know if she knocked or not. I'm not even gonna say she knocked because I don't know. But he told me, Randy told me, like, I don't know what's going on with her. She been standing out there for hours. Mind you, I didn't notice because I'm in the room probably on the phone caking or something. I hadn't been back out of my room. So it was like a shock to me to see her over there just holding food, waiting for that man to come home. Oh, and another thing is, Country Boy was a twin. He had a twin, and Luxuria's best friend at the time was dating his twin brother. Okay, so me and Randy texting. He telling me what's going on. At this point, she had started ignoring me when I was like talking to her in the bathroom. So I didn't feel like I needed to try to say anything else to her. I just wanted to make sure my girl was okay. So I called the fire department to come and do a wellness check on her. So they come out and do a wellness check, and this girl just snaps out of it. She snaps out of it. And they were so nice. The whole time that they were there, I let them in. One came back to my room with me, and I explained what was going on. And I just wanted to make sure that she was okay. And so they doing a wellness check, and I'm staying in my room. I'm just letting them do their job. And all of a sudden, I just hear her telling the police, like, that girl's crazy. She called y'all for no reason. She's been my enemy for a while now, and basically that I'm the one that's crazy and it's not her. So, instances like this, at the moment I didn't know anything about like wellness checks and how they work, but they couldn't do anything about it as long as that girl could tell them the day. I think it's like the day of the week, the president, and where they are. I don't know, something like that. But it's 3 questions that they ask you. And if you can answer those questions, there's really nothing that they can do if you decline medical attention. This is when that girl started hating my guts, y'all. Like, she hated me after this. So all I hear is from my room, Chrissy, you really called the police on me? You really called the police on me? You're fucking crazy. Why would you call the police on me? And I'm like, Luxuria, I've been trying to talk to you and see what's going on with you since I got back home, and you out here acting like a fucking Looney Tune. But that didn't stop nothing for her, because y'all know what that girl did. She picked that plate back up, she picked that Bible back up, and she went right back across the hall, standing outside that man door. Wait for him to come home. It didn't stop shit. Like, the girl was right back at it. Now, back at like, I want to say maybe like November or December. I don't know. Between like October and December, her and Country Boy did end up hunching one more time. They did it one more time. I remember her telling me this, and I know it wasn't a lie. But I feel like that one more time really molded her mind to like thinking like she's in love with this boy, regardless of the fact that she had a boyfriend. Like, this girl had a whole boyfriend, and she was just like madly in love with Country Boy. And I feel like the reason why she was so mean to her boyfriend at the time was because she didn't like him for real. I feel like she was using him to get over the fact that she can't have the neighbor. I feel like that's what it was. And I feel like she was using him because before they even got together, she used to tell me like she didn't really like him. And she said that she didn't think that he was her type. So I was very surprised when they actually got together. But what I can say is that he was taking her on dates, buying her things and things of that nature. So I just felt like it was kind of like, I feel like it was just like a comfort thing for her, just feeling like she had somebody. But anyway, so Randy is texting me and he's like, I just text Country Boy and let him know that she's outside the door, because I don't want him walking in here with his girlfriend and, you know, she's outside the door with a Bible and, you know, a plate of food. Like, I don't, what are we doing? So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, just let him know. And then at this point too, y'all, Luxura had lost about 30 pounds, not exaggerating. If y'all see the videos of Luxuripating now, that is nothing compared to how thick she was when I met her. In a good way, she had a nice little body on her. So at this point, we waiting for Country Boy to get there. He was really stalling. Honestly, he wasn't trying to come home because at this point he's like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? But he was stalling. Like, he was stalling to come home, but he has to come home, right? So he finally comes home, right? And he recorded it. Let me show y'all what he got.
What you doing?
Nothing. I bought food.
You was just standing here?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Did you, like, is somebody home?
Maybe.
Wait, did you knock?
Yes. I was really waiting on you.
Oh, well, yeah, you know, I wasn't home. What was your- Are you okay? Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, give me 1 second. All right. You okay? Sure. Are you good?
Oh, I didn't salt the food because I know
You said
people
what?
like to salt food.
Jerry, you sure you good? Hmm? Well, thank you. I appreciate it, though.
Oh yeah, I thought.
Jehovah! Jehovah, where are you? Jehovah! You asked me to ask, where are you? I'm asking it. I'm asking in the square. I've been screaming it. Where are you? Where are you, Jehovah? I still have not been rescued. I still have no on? Where are you, Jehovah? I can't even make my meetings. I can't even attend the Kingdom Hall.
So we made it to part 4 of who the did I move with? Because it's really given that. Like, part 4, I wasn't expecting 4 parts. But let's just get right into it, okay? Couple things that I do want to address before we get right back into where we left off. There was somebody that suggested in the comments that I put my my stories on 2 times the speed, and I'm gonna just tell y'all right now that ain't happening. I don't like watching story times in 2 times the speed myself, so I'm not gonna make my videos in 2 times the speed. From the jump, I told y'all to get y'all chips, y'all pop, y'all snacks, because we finna get into some things, and I already talk fast, so like me put my stuff in 2 times the speed, you're not gonna be able to understand me. Like, I talk fast, and I got a little accent from what y'all say, so y'all need to understand what I'm saying when I'm saying it, okay? Anyway, also, there was some people asking me, was I scared to live with her? And I'm gonna say yes and no. I'm gonna say yes because I was in school for psychology at the moment, and I actually have my degree in psychology, so I knew what was going on before Luxuria was even diagnosed with anything. So we gonna get into that later down the line. But yes, I kind of figured what was already going on with Luxuria. I'm gonna also say no, because I'm not scared of shit for real. Like, it's kind of my toxic trait. I'm not scared of nothing or nobody. So also, I had a boyfriend, and I was at his house 90% of the night. So like, I always spent the night over there, or he was at my house, but most of the time we was at his house. And the times that we were at my house, he was with me. So like, I wasn't really having to see Luxuria unless it was like throughout the day. We would cross paths when I'll come home waiting for my next class, or I'll come home to eat or cook something. But other than that, like, I didn't have to really be by myself or be around her at night. Also, Luxuria was raised by her grandparents because her mom had a mental illness. So yeah. So after Luxuria, back to the story. After Luxuria comes back in the house, she goes in her room, gets on the phone with her grandparents, telling them that I called the police and making it seem like I called the police because we into it and I'm the problem and yada, yada, yada. Mind you, I don't feel the need to go in there and like say something, because her grandparents gonna believe her over me any day. Plus, Luxuria had no signs of having a mental illness before this first like episode. I can honestly say that Luxuria's first episode ever happened when we lived together. Her grandparents didn't even know that, you know, this was in her. So while she on the phone with her grandparents, I'm on the phone with my mama telling her what's going on, and my mama instantly tell me I need to change my locks. So we had the locks on our doors where you could just stick like a bobby pin in and it'll unlock it from the inside. It's from the inside of the room. It's the ones you just push and the door is locked. So yeah, I had to change my lock. So I changed my lock, go on about my business. Couple weeks down the line, Randy, which is Country Boy's roommate, had a party outside in the front yard of our apartment. So a lot of people from NIU was at the party. Randy, I believe that he was barbecuing too. Country Boy drove the buses at NIU. So he used to come home late. He had the late route too. So he used to always come home at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I walk in the house and I can tell that Luxuria had to either be at home or nowhere far, because her keys were still there. Her room door was still open. Like, we always closed all the doors that belonged to us, like our bathroom and our room door, before we left out. But her room door was still cracked. The living room TV was still on. Lights were still on. Her keys were still there. So I'm like, where's Luxuria? She's not here. Now, at this point, I do want to add that Luxuria has nothing to do with Bella, which was our dog that we purchased together. I told you guys we purchased this dog in December, but that was my mistake. Going back and remembering, we purchased the dog in October. And for Thanksgiving break, I took the dog home. And for Christmas break, she took Bella home. And I remember this because I just really got so heated thinking about this too. But Luxuria when she took the dog home for Christmas break, she took Bella to get her shots and put the dog in her name. Why would you put our dog in your name? Like, I feel like she always had some type of malicious, like, It's like she always had some type of motive behind the things that she was doing. But yes, she snuck and put that dog in her name. Like that was, girl. So I can tell that Legira couldn't be nowhere far right. Now, why? I don't know. I want to say like maybe an hour later, I get a call from Randy. I guess somebody went in his house to use the bathroom and they found Legira in there. Y'all, why was this girl butt naked? She was across the hall, butt naked, scrubbing this man's bathroom down on her hands and knees. I'm talking about butt naked. Jehovah Witness, Legira. Kingdom Hall going every Sunday, Legira Payton. So she walked back over to our apartment like ain't nothing happened. She walked back over there butt naked with cleaning supplies in a bucket with a robe on. Like nothing happened. Just whatever. So Randy kicked her out and she was telling him like, no, I'm waiting for Country Boy to get home. But eventually she ended up leaving. Like he told her to leave. So she ended up coming back over. Also, I don't mean to get off track, but I remember telling y'all that my boyfriend had gave me his game system, and I told y'all this for a reason. It's because one day, randomly, she stood on the couch, me and him walking in the house. She gonna look at him and say, that's why Christina had another nigga playing your game while you was gone. Why would you sit there and lie on me like that? Oh my God, like, but you the main one that's over here breaking into niggas' houses. You got a whole boyfriend at home. Like, what? So, yeah, y'all, she snuck over there while he was outside. She took that opportunity to know that that man's door was going to be unlocked while he was in the front yard barbecuing and snuck over there to wait for that man to come home. Now, word is really getting out about Legira, and her friends raised some concern and find some way to get in contact with her grandparents. And this is not the first time that somebody has contacted her grandparents, because I honestly believe that the police contacted them as well. But now I feel like they're starting to take things more serious and like we need to get out there and see what's going on. And I do want to add that her boyfriend also knew that there was something going on, but he didn't know like details because he only knew what Legira was telling him. So Legira was making it seem like I was the problem and I was the one at home tripping out. And I didn't have no direct contact with him or no social media of his. So like I couldn't even get in contact with him to let him know what was the honest truth of what was going on. But I felt like he knew that it was actually something off with her from the jump. So the grandparents come out there finally to see what's going on with Legira, and they left out the house. They had to beg her to come, but they left out the house, and I was expecting for her to come back the same day, but Legira was gone for a whole week. And when I say that whole week was just like a breath of fresh air, I could not believe it. So I'm under the impression that Legira believed that she was coming back too because she didn't close her room door. So I took it upon myself to go in her room while she was gone. Not gonna lie, because baby, I need to see what's going on. I need to make sure I'm safe. So she had this notebook on her bed that she left right on top of her bed. And this girl had diary entries. And when I read this stuff, my mouth dropped. Like, I could not believe what her diary said.
I tell you a joke, but I'll never tell.
Y'all, it's part 5 of Surviving Legira Payton. And these videos reached a lot of people that went to NIU, and I was reminded of something that I did want to share with y'all. So like the first couple months leading up to spring break, Legira was trying so hard to become an AKA. She was attending all the meetings. She was doing like all of this stuff. And then like she'll come home and be like, those girls just do not like me. Like they hate me, Chrissy. Like I don't know what the problem is, but they act like a bitch towards me. And I'm like, I used to believe her, like, why they try to be mean to you, know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, she had me looking at the NIU AKAs like they was just like, thought that they was real big-headed and could nobody, you know what I'm saying, join a group other than who was already in a group. That was not the truth, y'all. That was not the truth. But Lagira, they did not let that girl become an AKA. So what did Lagira do? She made herself an AKA. This girl went and bought all this AKA gear, was wearing they stuff. She was acting like she was one of them. Popping up at their stuff and everything. Like, I could not believe that. And honestly, I didn't even know that she was going to their stuff. Because at this time, this is when me and her already bumping heads. I don't really know too much about her life. I ain't paying attention to her other than what I see at the house. But yeah, y'all, she was for real, like, acting like she was one of them. Lagira was pissing them girls off. I honestly think something happened between them, but we're not going to touch on that. But let's get back into the story. So I goes in Lagira's room and I read her diary. Sure did. In her diary, she was just confessing her love for Country Boy. And she was also talking about how she keep hearing and seeing things and don't know what's going on. But it wasn't your average diary entry. This girl was writing this stuff in like poems, Shakespeare poems. Like, they were so dramatic. I don't have those no more. I wish. I definitely took a picture of them, but I don't have that shit no more. I'm so mad because I really thought I had that. But anyway, the diary was just poetry. It was poetry about her life, about Country Boy, and about hearing things. And one thing that really stood out to me was she kept saying, like, I see them outside of my window and I see them underneath my door. It was at that moment that I realized why I was her enemy. And it's because she's experiencing all of this stuff in her head and she has nobody else to blame but me. I'm the closest person to her. I'm the only one that live with her. So it's like, I started to be like, okay, this girl think that something is after her and there's nobody here but me. Despite the love poems in her diary was very vulnerable. Like, she seemed very vulnerable and it did seem like a cry out for help in my eyes. Okay, so Lagira is still gone. So I take it upon myself to ask my parents to come and get the dog because at this point, I'm the only one taking care of it. I'm in and out for classes. I'm at my boyfriend's house most of the time. So, like, I really just didn't have no more time to be a dog mom. So remember that. Bella is officially gone with my parents. So like a week later is when Lagira came back. I was sitting on the couch when this girl returned. And she just walked in the house like ain't nothing happened. She's like, oh, hey, Chrissy. And I'm like, hey. And she proceeded to have like a whole conversation with me. Like, what you been up to? How your class is going? And I'm just like, I'm responding back normally. You know, everything's going good. Yada, yada, yada. Y'all, this girl still has not noticed that the dog is not here no more. So Lagira started going back to her classes that week. She did, but it was only for that week. After that, that girl went right back downhill and started tripping out again. Now, at this point, if y'all thought she hated me then, oh, she hate me now. And now, not only do she hate me, she got balls. She got balls. Like, she's trying to make me mad to the point where I want to put my hands on her. One day I come home from class. This girl took all of my food out the refrigerator. And I asked her, and it was still sitting out on the counter. She didn't even throw it away. I asked her, why is all of my food out of the refrigerator? Her response was, I feel like those type of things you shouldn't be eating. It's very unhealthy. I put my stuff back in the refrigerator. I looked at her. She didn't look me in my eyes. She kept doing like this. She won't look you in your eyes. I said, Lagira, I'm telling you right now, don't touch nothing else in this house that belongs to me. That's your last warning, period. So after that, I go in my room. The girl just outside in the living room talking to herself, laughing at herself. And she's saying stuff like, she think I care. She think I care. Like, y'all, you just had to be there. So Lagira is not going to classes no more. She just in the house smoking all day, every day. And just causing hell around the house for no reason. It's like she's waiting for me to come home to do some weird shit. So I also think that she wasn't going to classes because she wanted to be at home every second of the day to try to cross paths with Country Boy. So Legira is at this state where she always just standing up and rocking. She was standing in front of the door for hours and rock. Y'all, when I say I'm not being dramatic, I will go to class, come back home, she's in the same spot rocking. Just mind gone. And when I say in front of the door, I'm not talking about outside of our apartment. I'm talking about inside. Like, she's waiting at the door. Like, I'm assuming it's probably because the peephole was right there and she could just watch and see if Country Boy was coming to his house. But she used to just stand there like, she was not eating. The girl, at this point, she down 50 pounds. I'm talking about Legira was so skinny. All of her pants was sagging to her damn knees. All her clothes was huge on her. Like, she couldn't fit nothing. So this one particular day, I come in the house. I go in my room, close the door. A couple minutes later, I just hear a big boom at my door. I'm like, what the fuck? I open the door. She threw a water bottle at my door to get my attention. But she put some smoke and a perfectly rolled, can I say this? Like a brand new, perfectly rolled, empty or wrap or a blunt. Can I say that? Oh. It was right at my door. Like right in front of my door. I guess she was giving it to me. But she was right back at the front door rocking with her back turned to my room. Because the way that the house is, like, you open up my room door and you can see the front door. So she's facing the front door, just rocking. So I asked her, why did you put this in front of my door? And she was like, because I don't want to smoke anymore. But she said it real quietly, still didn't look at me, just kept facing the front door. So me not trying to be confrontational, I just took it and put it in my room and closed the door. And then I called my dude and I told him, like, she just put some smoke in front of my door, talking about she don't want her no more. And he was like, man, don't smoke that shit. He said, do not smoke that. I'm like, you thought I was? I'm just not trying to argue with I just don't want no parks. At this point, everybody like, you need to find a way to get out your lease. You need to find a way to get out your lease because there's something wrong with this girl. We know something is wrong. We know she got diagnosed. Okay, also, diagnosis. Her boyfriend ended up telling me that when she first left, she was at a mental hospital and she got diagnosed with psychosis. So Legira was supposed to be on medication and she wasn't, like, she was taking it while she was there, but when she got back to DeKalb, she stopped taking her medicine. Also, at this point, the police have been to my house probably about 6 times because of Legira. Not even just because of me calling, but there's other people calling, doing wellness checks. And every single time the police came, she automatically thought that I was the reason why they was there. She thought I was the one that called. So now I'm going down to the leasing office and I'm about to tell them, like, I need to get out of my lease, like, ASAP. Y'all know I went down to this leasing office and these people gonna tell me that Legira, y'all, it's part 5 of surviving.
I feel like if God wanted to make...
We are at part 6, y'all. And I think this might just be the final part. I think it's the final part. I'm so grateful for everybody who's been here since part 1 because we've been getting into some things and y'all just been listening to me ramble and I appreciate y'all so much. Back to it. Let's get right back into it. So I'm ready to get out of my lease and I don't know what to do other than go down to the leasing office and just be vulnerable, y'all. I'm just gonna spill the beans and let them know what's going on. Cause I'm like, I feel like they had to know something if the police is always here. Like, they not letting the leasing office know what's going on. I get down to the leasing office and I tell this lady, I'm at so-and-so apartment and this is what's going on with my roommate and I have to get out. I have to get out of there. Now, I should add that the leasing office at Eco Park, I don't know if they was just so used to dealing with college kids, but they acted like some bitchs for real. It's like they treated us like we were kids. Nothing was professional on their end as far as like communication. Unless, only time I ever remember them being like, okay, was when you was inquiring about an apartment, when they wanted you to move into their shit. But other than that, they act like some little bitchs. So I tell her what's going on. And then she was like, yeah, Lagira just came in here and told me what was going on between you guys. And I told her the same thing. I legally cannot get you out of your lease if there's no restraining order or anything involved. So I'm like, what did she tell you? Like, what could she have told you about me? Other than, you know what I'm saying, us being into it because of what she got going on. Y'all, this lady told me that Lagira went down there and told her that I have a mental illness. My mind was blown away. Like, I got the mental illness? Let's be for real. Why you... Okay. It's like Lagira was trying to beat me to the punch to get down there to them because she knew where I was headed. She knew what she was pushing me to. She knew where I was headed. And she took that first step to go and talk to them first so that I can look like the bad guy. That girl is a motherfucker. Okay, so whatever. I told her, I know that she already talked to you first and you don't have no reason to believe me over anybody because you don't know either one of us. But I'm telling you right now, that is not right. That's incorrect. Lagira is the one with the mental illness. And I told her everything that was going on. Everything I told y'all, I told them. And the lady was just like, I can't get you out of your lease without any legal documents. Like a restraining order or something. So now I need to figure out how to get a restraining order against Lagira so I can get out of my lease because I need to get out or I'm going to do something to this girl. Like, I don't want to do nothing because the times that the police was at my house, I asked them, like, I was so angry. Like, I said, now, if she keep provoking me and I put my hands on her, like, what's going to happen? Like, can I go to jail? Because I didn't want to go to jail. And they said, yes, I will go to jail. Keep provoking me and I put my hands on her, like, what's gonna happen? Like, can I go to jail? Because I didn't want to go to jail. And they said, yes, I will go to jail because she has a mental disorder. She has been diagnosed. So I cannot touch that girl. Now I'm ready to go in the house and punch the walls. I'm ready to beat the baby the fuck up at this point because what? So I'm about to go in the house and call my mama and tell her what they said, right? Y'all know I walk in the house and my bathroom light on and my bathroom door open. I knew she was in my bathroom. I knew she was in my bathroom, bro. And I knew I was finna have to put my hands on her. At that moment, I said, she's in there fucking with my stuff. I'm finna have to put my hands on her. So I walked back to my bathroom. Lagira's in there with a gallon of bleach in her hand. She's standing over my tub. And everything that we both, like, okay, I used to use Nair on my legs and Lagira put me on to V when we first moved in together. So I had V under my sink. I had like cleaning supplies. I had soap, tissue. Anything that Lagira wanted, she went shopping in my bathroom. Took everything from up under my sink, had it on hers, lined up like it was hers. And then I had this real pretty like aqua blue bathroom set. This girl, as she hear me coming in, she's like walking out of my bathroom. But she got the bleach in her hand and she's doing like this. So it can get over my rugs and everything in my bathroom. I said, Lagira, come outside because I'm finna beat yo. And instead of coming outside, Lagira go put the bleach in the kitchen. And she go in her room and lock the door. So I'm calling everybody, letting them know what's going on. I'm like, look, what she just did. She just bleached my stuff. Like, I'm heated. I said, I'm Lagira know I'm mad. She know I'm mad. So anytime I started raising my voice and I would show that I'm angry, Lagira would go in her room. It's like she'll get me to that point of being so mad and then just go in her room and lock the door. So y'all, I go up in the kitchen and it smells like strong bleach in the kitchen. Like, not just like the bathroom in the kitchen far away. So like, why do I still smell strong bleach? Yeah, why do I have some chicken inside of the sink defrosting? Some chicken wings. Why did my wings smell like straight bleach? So I'm, oh, hell no. Hell no. At this point, I called the police. I said, y'all better get here ASAP. I'm gonna do something to her. Y'all better get here ASAP. I'm gonna do something to her. All I hear after that is like a bang. It's like, hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Okay, so it's a bang coming from Legere room. It's like, but it's louder than that. And you can tell it's a hammer. So me and Legere both had a hammer in our room. I don't know why I had a hammer in my room. I had a hammer underneath my bed all this time. Legere did too, though. I think, or she had one in her closet. But yeah, she had a hammer. Like, she hit me with the hammer. So I'm on the phone with my mama. I got the phone on speaker. My mom in the background like, I wish you mother hit her with the hammer if you want to. So at this point, Legere in her room with the door locked, beating on the wall with the hammer, thinking she scared me. I pick up my hammer. I'm walking down the hallway like, what's up? Come out the room. Come out the room. Like, let's see who gonna get hit first. Come out the room with the hammer. Yeah, the police is already on the way, right? So I'm begging her. I'm like, Legere, I done had enough with you. Come out the room. Come out the room. The girl did not want to come out the room. So the police finally get there. They come in. I tell them what's going on. Show them evidence. They're like, yeah, we taking you. And it wasn't no more answer these 3 questions because she was already diagnosed. So they already knew what was going on. So they took her. She fought the paramedics. They like had to drag her ass, get in the ambulance. Then she was gone. Like, that was it. They took her to a mental hospital. And honey, also I forgot to add, it was a couple weeks later after she came home that first time. This girl gonna walk past me talking about some, Chrissy, where's Bella? And kept walking. Like, she didn't stop, look me in my eyes, nothing. She just said, Chrissy, where's Bella? And just kept walking slow to her room. Why did it take you this many weeks for you to realize that the dog is gone? So I finally get in touch with her grandparents and I tell them everything. I finally get a chance to tell them everything that's been happening from start to finish. And they were in disbelief. And then her grandparents promised to pay for the stuff that she bleached. I can only imagine if my room door was open, what she would have did to the stuff that was in my room. But, yeah, they promised to pay for everything that she destroyed. They never paid for anything. Honestly, that was my last conversation with them. So, like, that's whatever. But yeah, while Legere was gone, that time she was gone for like 2 weeks, I was able to get out of my lease. And if y'all want to know how I was able to get out of my lease, then somebody say something in the comments and I'll do like a response video to that. But I was for sure able to get out of my lease, and I was so grateful for that. But yeah, that's my story on surviving Legere, and I hope nobody ever have to go through that. I also wish that wherever she is doing well. She's on her medication and she's thriving in life, and I hope that her past is not hindering anything that she, try to do in the future. But yeah, I went through things just as well as she did just by living off her, and I'm just here to tell my story. So thank y'all for listening.
Damn, this story is crazy. I can't imagine having to deal with something like that, and you kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, because although this person is doing malicious, evil things and pissing you off, they're also mentally ill. They're also dealing with these delusions in their head. And so it's kind of like the same exemption or kind of passive reaction we have with like babies when they do things is kind of what you feel like you have to give towards those who are mentally ill. But at the same time, it's just like, when stuff is damaged and things happen, there needs to be repercussions. So it's just really like one of those weird in-betweens. And again, because you're moving in with someone and she gave off a certain aura in the beginning and then switched up, it's hard to know who you're dealing with till sometimes it's too late. So, she got into this deal as far as going in to get an apartment, something that is binding a lease, and you're like stuck there with this crazed person. So I know that had to be a tough situation to be in. Like, what do I do? And will I be able to restrain myself to the point of not unaliving her when she do something, or if she tries to attack me, or you know what I'm saying? Like, sleeping, I know, had to be non-existent for her, because I would not be able to rest knowing this girl was just down the hall and around the corner, or wherever her room was to her, and that she can possibly have these ill intentions when I fall asleep and unalive me or attack me. This is just utterly insane. Utterly insane. But y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this. Has something like this happened to you? Something similar, where you were in something that may have been binding, or in a situation where you were dealing with someone with mental health issues, and like, how did you overcome it? What are the logistics of it? Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Listen, I like chocolate girl, all shades, different flavors. She a diamond and a pearl. She a goddess with a mentor, yeah. Cinnamon swirl. She relate to what I've been through, yeah.